Welcome to Stoic Daily Stoicism. Today's video is not just another talk about relationships or about who's right and who's wrong. This is something deeper, something more raw, something more real. Because here's the truth. Presence fades. When your presence the calls, the texts. The energy you used to give so freely suddenly disappears. It flips a switch inside her. And that's when the missing begins. But here's the key. It's not really about what you're doing during that time. It's about how she feels in your absence. It's about the gap your energy leaves behind when you no longer show up. The why you used to. Now, I want to make something absolutely clear before we dive in. This is not about blaming women. This is not about bitterness, resentment, or finger pointing. It's not what we do here. It's just about clarity. It's about pulling back the curtain and exposing the psychology behind what actually happens when someone realizes they've taken a good man for granted. Because if you've ever been that man, the one who gave his all, only to be met with indifference, then you know the sting of being overlooked. And maybe right now you're in the process of pulling back. Maybe you're creating space, going quiet, and wondering what's happening in her mind while you're no longer accessible. That's exactly what we're going to explore today, step by step. Not from a textbook, not from abstract theory, but from lived reality. It's from the way people actually think and actually feel when the presence they once dismissed is suddenly gone. We're going to walk through the exact psychological triggers that make a woman start to miss the man she once overlooked. We'll explore the inner conflict between ego and emotion. The subtle ways she copes on the outside while spiraling on the inside. And why silence can be more powerful than 1,000 words. By the end of this, you'll understand the dynamic so clearly that you'll never again have to ask yourself, does she miss me? You'll already know. And the bigger lesson here isn't just about her, it's about you. Because the man who knows his worth doesn't beg for recognition. He doesn't fight to prove himself. He stands still, steady, and calm in his value. And that's exactly the energy that leaves the deepest imprint, the kind that can't be replaced. So settle in. Get comfortable. Let's dive in. Part 1. It begins when you stop reaching out. Do you want to know when the missing really begins? It's not during the arguments. It's not when she's giving you the cold shoulder. It's not even when she tells you she needs space. The missing begins when your name stops lighting up her phone. That's the moment. Because here's the reality. Most women are used to being pursued. They're used to consistency texts that show up without fail, calls that check in, little updates that remind them they're on your mind. And when those things are constant, it creates a sense of power. It makes her feel like she's in control of the connection. But when you stop, when the texts don't come, when she opens her phone and your name isn't there, that's when something shifts. At first, it feels like confusion. Why hasn't he texted today? Maybe he's busy. Maybe he's mad. Maybe, and that confusion quickly turns into subtle anxiety. She starts checking her phone more often. She refreshes her feed. Watches your stories just to see if you're out there doing something, but she doesn't comment. Why? Because the silence isn't external. It's internal. It creeps inside her. It disrupts the sense of control she thought she had. Because deep down, she expected you to keep showing up. She thought no matter what, you'd still be there, proving yourself, consistent, predictable. But when you're not, that's when it hits, and it doesn't take long. A few days. A week, at most. That's all it takes for the very same woman who once said she needed space to suddenly start feeling anxious about what you're doing without her. Now the questions start to creep in. Did he meet someone else? Did I push him too far? He really over me? Did I underestimate him? What's happening here isn't just about missing your attention. It's about the shock to her system. Because when a woman pulls back, often it's a test. It's a way to measure how much you'll fight for her. But when you don't, when you actually walk away instead, that's when the realization dawns. You weren't so easily replaceable after all. And here's the deeper layer. When you stop reaching out, she doesn't just miss the texts or the calls. She starts to miss your presence, your reliability, the comfort she unconsciously relied on. The little things she brushed off before now become the very things that she craves. But here's the painful truth for her. She can't just pick up where she left off, because now you've changed. You're no longer chasing. You're no longer giving your energy so freely. She now has to wonder. And in that wondering, in that silence, the missing begins.